A man stole an enemy's motorcycle and rode alone into the forest. Little did he know that another group of leopards was waiting ahead. When he turned around, the leopards were already closing in from behind. In a moment of crisis, he noticed a flamethrower on the motorcycle. He began spraying fire onto the ground while circling around the leopards, successfully trapping them within a ring of fire. It turned out that a group of students had found a mysterious antique game console. When they pressed it, the console sucked them inside. The next moment, the four of them found themselves in a primeval jungle. Just as everyone was confused and arguing about how to get back, a huge hippopotamus appeared behind their teammate, completely terrifying the others. At that moment, a ding-dong sound rang out from the sky, and the teammate fell from hundreds of meters in the air with a thud onto the ground. He had been revived. But there was no time for surprise, as the man-eating hippopotamus was closing in. The man turned and fled in terror. At the moment of life and death, an off-road vehicle pulled up in front of them, successfully rescuing the four and finally escaping the peril. They also discovered that each of them had 3 lives. An uncle driving an off-road vehicle told the four of them the story of this place. Years ago, a major villain led a group of mercenaries deep into the jungle to steal the gemstone from an ancient stone statue. That night, the middle-aged man, driven by justice, stole the gemstone from the villain while he was asleep and fled into the jungle. Upon waking, the villain went mad, swearing to tear the person who took his gemstone to pieces. After finishing his story, the man pulled out the gemstone and stuffed it into the bewildered man's chest, saying, "The task of saving the world is now in your hands. Only by returning the gemstone to the statue can you go home." Finally, the man left them a map and drove off. The story returns to the present. The man arrived at the foot of the mountain, and the villain suddenly appeared, kidnapping his teammates and demanding the gem. Just as the situation grew dire, Jack charged out on an elephant. It turned out the gem had been with him all along. The villain fired a shot, startling the elephant into going wild, violently flinging the gem into the air, where it landed on the platform above. The woman leaped onto the platform in a few bounds, only to find it swarming with venomous snakes, with the gem lying amidst them. She bravely pushed through the snakes and retrieved the gem, but the venomous snakes suddenly rose to their heads. She deliberately let the snakes bite her leg, then smiled at the villain and vanished instantly. A ding-dong sound echoed as the revived woman fell from the sky. At that moment, a man arrived at the summit on his motorcycle. He threw out a grappling hook, which latched onto the rock wall. Holding onto the rope, he swung through the air and caught the gem from the woman's hand. The woman landed safely, and the man returned the gem to the statue. Instantly, a powerful purifying force swept through the entire jungle, and the main antagonist was quickly reduced to ashes. The game world returned to peace and tranquility. They also successfully returned to the real world.